Well, I got the axle apart using a hammer and some choice words. Got the sprocket hub assembly, disc brake hub assembly off. Got my wheels spaced 48 inches from outside to outside, and looks like I'm not going to have to cut this axle off. It's going to be about right. I thought I was going to have to shorten it, but those ends there should press into the end of the shaft. And so I'm going to take a grinder and knock some of this galvanized stuff off. Galvanized coating. So when I weld it, I don't have to burn that off. Do that, then I'm going to try to put them in. Okay, I already got one in. I'm going to try to put this one in. I think it'll go. It's in there, but it's a little bit loose. Yeah, what I'm going to do is hit it with a punch a few times just to hold it tight so it can't fall out, so I can get it welded. Okay, well I got it all together. It's just pushed in right now. Still got to weld the spindles to the axle. Well, we're back today. We're going to try to get this axle welded up. First, I got to clear off my table. So let me get that done, then we'll get right back to it. Okay, I got it welded up. It's not beautiful, but I think it'll hold. Now what I want to do is I want to come back. See if you remember this, when I turn this, it's still warm. That was 2 inches long, so I'm going to come back about 1.5 inches. About right. Yeah, right in there. Somewhere there close. Somewhere. I'm going to drill a 1/2 inch hole through this axle and down into the spindle. I'm going to do that on both sides. Then weld that up solid. That'll give it a little bit more support on the inside. I don't think it'll ever try to move, but that'll make sure it won't. Okay, I'm going to bring you back here. This is the last one I got to drill to show you what I got going on. Trying to walk on me a little bit. Oh, let me straighten that out. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. This camera don't focus real close. I'm going to drill down through this into the spindle, then I'm going to fill that back up solid with welding. Okay, here you can see I just welded up the last one. I'll knock the splatter off with a grinder, and this axle will be done. Okay, I've kind of got the frame laid out and clamped on my table, and I'm running into a little, not difficulty, but just it's not going to work exactly the way I wanted it. What I've got here is two pieces of channel. They're 3.5 by 1.5 by 1/8 inch thick, 10 foot long. Okay, here's kind of what I've got in mind here. Okay, here's going to be the frame. What I was wanting to do is bend it here and here, bring it together, then bring it out straight. I need 20 inches between this point and this point, so that when it's behind the four-wheeler I can turn pretty sharp without the tire hitting. If I was to just bring this out like this, then when I turn, the back tire is going to hit right in here. I'm not going to be able to turn very sharp. So it's not long enough, because I need, let me think, I need 7 foot from the back to here. That's how long the camper is going to be. Then I've only got 3 foot left over. So what I may end up doing is starting my bend back here and see if that'll give me a little extra. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use SketchUp. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with it, but I use it for a lot of my projects. I'm going to draw it up in SketchUp, then I can get some exact measurements and dimensions and angles, and I'll figure it out from there. If I have to, I can add to the back of it with some angle or something. You know, if I need to fudge 6 inches or a foot to get the tongue the way I want it, then I'll just add on to the back. Okay, I will get back with you when I continue on. Thank you. Alright, welcome back. Well, I've done some figuring and some doodling on SketchUp, and this is what I come up with. Okay, I'm going to come back 18 inches. I'm going to bend this 30 degrees out this way. Then I come back 27.5 inches. Cut a V here and bend that in 30 degrees. Do that on both of them. Then right here, I've got to take a 1/4 inch off the length of this. Then when these two pieces meet up, I'll have 2.5 inches, because my coupler is 2.5 inches wide. And if I don't do that, it's going to be 3 inches wide, and I'm going to have problems. So anyway, I'm going to get to cutting, and I'll show you what I come up with when I get done. Alrighty, I got one side kind of in shape. I'm going to do the other one and see about putting them together, kind of see what I got. So I'll have to come back and weld her up good. I tack this one together if it was wanting to spring apart. Okay, I got them both cut and tack welded together. Got them clamped together so I get them the same. I'm going to flip them over and try to put them in place, see if everything lines up the way it's supposed to, and then we'll cut some cross members and weld them in and see what happens. Okay, got it clamped together. It's looking pretty good. Ended up with about 2 7/16 wide, which that'll be fine. I'm going to cut me a triangle plate, put in there, top and bottom. I was shooting for 30 inches wide from outside to outside and ended up at 29 5/8. Probably because I didn't get this angle here steep enough. If it had been a little bit steeper, then that would have thrown it out a little bit more, but that's fine. This ain't rocket science, this is camper science. It'll be fine. Well, I'm going to tack this together, then come up with some cross members to weld in, and we'll go from there. Alright, I'm back. Well, I've got the cross member welded in on the front and back. It's a 3-inch pipe. It's actually an old roll bar from a pickup. Okay, what I'm working on now is some type of axle support. I'm not going to put springs on this because I don't have any. I may do that later. That's the reason I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, so it can be easily converted. What I'm wanting to do, okay, the axle's got to be 9 inches from the top of the frame, which is upside down, to the top of the axle. So what I've found, this piece here, I'm not sure where it's going to be, somewhere in that neighborhood. Then can't do this, I ain't got enough hands, I need another hand. Anyway, from right here, it's going to come up to this, and back down. It's going to make like a triangle. And the axle will go through this. I got to bore it out just to about 50 thousandths. So the axle is going to go right in here over to there. These I'll drill probably just a 1/2-inch hole, put 1/2-inch bolt in each one. That way I can slide the axle back and forth on the frame to get it balanced where I want it. I hope this all makes sense. Maybe it will when I get something put together. I'll bring you back when I got some more done. Alright, I'm back. This is kind of what I got in mind. Got the holes drilled for these brackets. Come up to here, still gotta cut this. After I weld this together, then I'll grind it out where that fits down in there a lot better. But, I think that'll work. I got them beveled. You probably can't see it. Fixing to weld this one up, or tack it up anyway, and work on the next one. Okay, welcome back. Okay, I've got these brackets welded up. I haven't got these welded on yet. I've still got to bore them out where they'll slide over the axle. Then I'm going to slide the axle in, both of them, and make sure everything's square, same distance from the top of the frame to the top of the axle. I'll have to grind these down, make sure they're exactly the same. Then I get all that squared away, get these welded on. Then all I gotta do is drill my holes. I'm gonna put the axle probably 6 to 8 inches behind the center. We'll start at that. Then after I get the camper built, I may have to move that. It won't be no big deal. All I have to do is slide that where it needs to be and re-drill them holes. Okay, I'm starting to rain. I'm getting hungry, so I think I'm gonna call it a day for today. And okay, the audio got messed up on this clip here. I don't know what happened, but it was really screechy, so I'm doing a voiceover on this part. I got the axle welded up, sitting on the frame. I'm fixing to make the spacers go between the nut and the bearing there. Yeah, right there. That tube is part of an old bicycle frame that I cut up for another project. It's a tire. It fits perfectly over that axle. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just rambling probably. And here I am cutting off one of the spacers. Okay, I got my spacers built and on. What I done was brought my nut down until it was bottomed out, just a little over hand tight. And this spacer had a little bit of slop in it. Probably, wasn't much, 50 thousandths, maybe less than that. So then crank this nut down until I got all the slack out of the spacer, and put just a little bit of pressure on the bearing. Then put the cotter key in it, and I think that'll work. I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think I'll have any problems. Well, now I gotta flip the frame over and do some welding on the top. So I gotta go get my son to help me flip it over, and we'll get back to you. Okay, welcome back. Got it flipped over. Fixing to weld up the top side. Got to weld this seam. I'll cut another triangle piece like I did on the bottom. Weld in here. Weld these up. Then I've got to put my coupler on. Then put the axle on, and I'll be able to get it on the ground and put the platform on it. I've already got the platform built. Built it first 2 or 3 weeks ago before I even started on the frame. Anyway, let me get this welded up, and we'll get back to you. Okay, here I got my triangle piece fitted in, fixing to weld it up. I got the corners here welded, so I just need to weld this and weld that seam up in that tongue. Okay, I got that welded up. I'm fixing to grind off some of my welding splatter, smooth it up just a little bit, and I think all the welding on the trailer will be done. Alright, I got the coupler on. frame all welded up. Got to put the axle on, bolt it on. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. And I still got a little bit more work to do. I'm going to take some sandpaper and knock that galvanized up, make it where paint will stick to it. I'm going to paint it just from here forward, and paint my welds underneath. The rest of it's galvanized coated, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, well, that's it for today. We'll bring you back when I get to the next step. Welcome back. Got the trailer frame pretty much finished. Still got some painting to do. I'm gonna have to put some type of tongue jack in front. Got the platform set on it. We built that I don't know, a couple weeks ago probably. What I'm doing now is bolting. I'm going to bolt it to the frame. What I've done here, that marked center, went in 3/4 of an inch so that I'd be in the center of this 2x4. The problem I've got is my drill bit isn't long enough to go all the way through. So, but I was able to go through and start drilling into the metal, so it's got a little pilot divot in there. So when I get them all drilled through, then I got to remove the platform and drill them the rest of the way through the frame. Then I'll be able to bolt it on. Frame is just 2x4s. I've got a cross member. Okay, I got one at the end, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cross members. Probably could have got away with less, but that's what I had. So anyway, I got the front holes drilled in the wood. I just got to, like I say, pull it off and drill it the rest of the way through the frame. Alright, I'm back. Got it bolted to the frame, and I'm just under here kind of showing you what I got. You can see right there's a bolt going through the front cross member. I skipped this cross member as I didn't have enough bolts. The third cross member's got a bolt. Fourth one, right there, it's got a bolt in it. And I skipped the fifth one, and the last one has a bolt in it. I don't think it'll ever go anywhere. That's 8 3/8 bolts, carriage bolts holding it down. I may pick up some more for those other 2 cross members, but probably not necessary. Okay, I'm gonna get up, see if I can get up off the ground here. Okay, there she is, platform bolted on. I'm ready to start building off of that. This will probably be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one when I start building the actual camper. Thank you.